I can't tell you how many times I've said, wait, was that Elijah or Elisha? I struggle all the time to keep them straight, so I thought it was about time to sit down and get it straightened out. Both were powerful prophets in Israel, but their lives and their ministries were very different. So let's clear this up. Elijah came first. Think drama, fire, bold confrontation. He's the one that mocked the false prophet, saying maybe their God was just taking a bathroom break when he called down fire on Mount Carmel in a showdown with the prophets of Baal. People say it both ways. Elijah also prayed and the rain stopped for 3 years when Israel went astray. He challenged kings like Ahab and Jezebel head on. And in the end, he didn't die. God took him up to heaven in a whirlwind with chariots of fire. Here's a quick list of things he did with the references. He basically predicted a 3-year drought. Well, actually, he said it wouldn't rain until he said it could. That was in 1 Kings 17. Also in 1 Kings 17, God sent ravens to sustain him during the famine. They brought him bread when he was hungry. In 1 Kings 17 next, he went to the widow and her flour and her oil never ran out. Then her son got sick and died, so he brought him back to life. Then, of course, as I mentioned, there was the firefall against the 450 prophets of Baal. Then he got depressed and was fed by an angel. I always got that mixed up. He got fed by angels and ravens. That's pretty cool. In 2 Kings, he calls fire down on soldiers. The fire from heavens just destroys everybody. Then after that, he goes to Mount Horeb. That's 1 Kings. God came by the front of the cave. There was that gentle whisper encounter. And then, of course, in 2 Kings, he's also swept up, fiery chariot. I know that was a lot. So just think themes of judgment, repentance, confrontation with idolatry, and God's sovereignty. Okay, so then Elijah passed the baton on to Elisha. He's known for more compassion and miracles that are like everyday people as opposed to taking on the kings and queens. He healed, he purified the water. I guess you can heal water, but he purified water so the whole town of Jericho could drink safely. He also multiplied oil for a widow that was drowning in debt. She was about to lose her 2 sons to slavery, so he gave her so much oil that she could pay off her debt and have enough money to live off for the rest of her life, I think. He also raised a child from the dead, healed the general of leprosy. Even after death, it was his bones that brought back a dead man to life at his own funeral. Elisha carried what was called a double portion of Elijah's spirit. That just means that before Elijah was carried off, Elisha said, hey, can I have a double portion of what you have? That sounds weird to me, but in Israelite law, the firstborn son gets a double portion of inheritance. And basically, Elisha was just saying, hey, I want to be your rightful heir, your spiritual heir, and I want to carry on this prophetic role with God's full blessing. Elijah's like, well, hey, that's a hard thing you're asking, so I'll tell you what, if God grants that, you'll be able to see me taken from you, then you'll know it's true. And Elisha got to see Elijah taken up into the heavens. God confirmed his approval. Then Elisha went on to actually perform twice as many miracles as Elijah, at least what's recorded. I always attributed everything to Elijah, but actually Elisha did a lot. Here's a short list with references. There was a parting of the Jordan River that I never even thought about. So Elijah and Elisha are walking along, they're talking prophet to prophet. They get to the Jordan River. Elijah takes his cloak off, puts it on the water, and the waters divide. The 2 prophets just go walking right through. Right after that, Elijah gets taken up into the heavens, and his cloak's just sitting there. So Elisha picks it up, tosses it on the water. The Jordan River divides again, and he's like, hey, I guess God just gave me my wish. Let's see, 2 Kings, the water supply. I think he put salt in it. It was Jericho. To make it pure, not salty, good fresh water. In 2 Kings 4, that's where the widow's oil was multiplied. He told her, go get containers from all of your neighbors, get as many as you can, and just pour oil, and it never stopped. She had a great retirement. 2 Kings, the Shunammite's son was also raised from the dead. Here's another fun one Elisha did that it just gets overlooked all the time. That's 2 Kings 4, and that is A man had a few small loaves of bread, sound familiar? And Elisha fed 100 men from them, kind of foreshadowing of Jesus' feeding of the thousands, right? He healed Naaman of leprosy in 2 Kings. He's the one who floated the axe head also. He's the one who made the Syrian army blind. His bones raised the dead. Even after death, God was still using him. So themes for Elisha are more restoration, healing, God's care for the poor, the powerless, like everyday practical help. So here's another way to remember it. Elijah with a J comes first, like J in the alphabet. He's the fiery prophet who calls down judgment. Elisha with an S comes second. Think S for second, or salvation, kindness, and everyday miracles. So Elijah, fire, power, confrontation. Elisha, miracles, healing, restoration. Both serve the same God. Both pointed Israel back to God. And together their ministries remind us that God shows up in fire and compassion. Honestly, I had no idea Elisha did so much. I hope this helps you as much as it did me. We really do hope you enjoy our content. If so, please take a moment to help us grow our channel, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share this with a friend. Also, leave a comment if you can. We'd really love to hear from you and your thoughts, questions, or even requests for future content. Thanks so much for watching. God bless.